Okay guys, so I'm going to go over the graphing exponential and solving exponentials review. So here are your two functions. So I'm going to start with this one. So your parent points, remember it's always going to be 2 to the x. So it's going to be 0, 1, 1, and 2. Your point mapping is evil inside, so it's going to be x minus 2 and y plus 1. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. 1 minus 2 is 1. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. Your domain for all real exponential functions is all real numbers, and your range is an asymptote to infinity. And your asymptote, remember, is always going to be what it's equal to, and it's always y equals. So y equals positive 1. I'm going to do this first. So positive 1 is my asymptote, and then I'm going to plot my points, negative 2, comma 2, and negative 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm just going to graph my points. And again, if I want to do the y-intercept, which I kind of do want to do in this case, so it'd be 0 plus 2 plus 1 for your y-intercept. It'd be 2 to the second plus 1, which would be 5. So 0, 5, just so I have a nice little graph going here. And your average rate of change, if I plug in 1, it'd be x equals 1. So 2 to the 1 plus 2 plus 1, that would be 9. So your first point is 1 comma 9. And then if I plug in 2, I get 2 to the 2 plus 1, which would be 16 plus 1, which is 17. And then I just do average rate of change, which is slope. So 17 minus 9 all over 2 minus 1. 17 minus 9, which would be 8. All over 1. So your average rate of change would be 8. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Now this is base E, and a lot of you guys get a little freaked out by base E. Remember, I should put your parent function is 2 to the x, your parent function is e to the x. So it's 0, 1, 1, 2.7. I'm just going to use 2.7 because it'll be easier here. Nothing is happening to my x, and my y is y minus 2. So 0, 1, minus 2 be negative 1, and 0.7. Domain negative infinity. That's a horrible infinity sign. Negative infinity to positive infinity, and your range is going to be negative 2 to infinity. And your asymptote again is y equals negative 2. And again, it's that number on the outside right here. So I have y equals negative 2. I have 0, negative 1. And I'm going to have, not what I wanted, 0, negative 1, which is right here. And then 1.7, which 1, and then up almost to 1, but not exactly. And then connect. And again, your average rate of change, you're just plugging in. So here I have x equals 1. So y equals to e to the first minus 2. And I might just use my calculator in this case to make my life easier, which would be 0.7. So your first point is 1 comma 0.7. And then I'm going to plug in 2 for x, do the same exact thing. So it'll be e squared minus 2, which would be 5.4. And then again, I just use my slope formula. I'm going to do 5.4 minus 0.7 all over 2 minus 1. 5.4 minus 0.7, which would be 4.7 for your average rate of change. Now we're going to go into, again, if you have any questions on graphing, please email us so we can have an individual Zoom session with you. Solve each of the following equations for x, show work to receive credit. So remember, the first thing is you have to write them using the same base. So 3 I can't rewrite at all, so I'm going to leave it like that. But 9 I can rewrite as 3 squared. And then you remember you have to put this in parentheses. If the bases are the same, then the exponents can be set equal to each other. And then you solve, distribute, and then solve. And you get x is equal to negative 3 over 2. I'm going to stop here and do another video when